Hello, it's Phil Thatch, and I'm at home and doing some more still life photography. This is another, I guess I'm going to submit this photo also to David Saylor's still life photography live stream, which actually happens tomorrow night. You're probably going to be seeing this video way after it happens, so I'll put a link up here in the top so you can go back and watch David's live stream, which I think I'm going to be on unless something goes wrong. But anyway, I already made one video about a still life photo that I submitted where I made a photograph of a cup of coffee and a bowl full of muffins, and I'll put a link to that up there. And that one, I'm going to have that video come out the day of the live stream. This video, I'm going to go ahead and it'll probably be almost May by the time this video comes out. But anyway, influenced by my friend Ray Soldano, who I coerced into making a photo for David's thing, he did a photograph of a bottle of whiskey and a glass on a table with a fireplace in the background, and he lit it from the bottom through the glass. And I thought that was really cool. And I said, well, I think during the live stream, I'll have a particular brand of Cerveza to sip on that kind of goes along with the times. So I picked up some of this, and goodness gracious, it's expensive. $10.49 for a 6-pack. No wonder I don't drink this stuff. But I'm going to have it, I'm going to sip on it tomorrow night. And I thought I would take a picture of it, and I went down in our basement, and there's an old table down there that has a glass top, and I thought, well, I'll make a photograph of one of these on that glass top with its reflection on the glass. And this table, the piece of glass is super small. It's only like a foot by a foot and a half, so it was really hard to get it to look just right. So I fiddled around with the composition for a long time. I started out using I've got the Z50 right here, and I started out with the 16 to 50 on there, just kind of handheld looking at compositions, and I couldn't get anything that I liked, and I redid the setup. I ended up putting this black sheet under the glass and on top of the table so you couldn't see any of the wood around it. And anyway, I was just getting nowhere, and finally I switched from the 16 to 50 and put the 50 to 250 on, and I decided instead of trying to have the whole thing in there, I would just show a portion of a bottle of beer. And then I thought, I'll put a bunch of them up here. So I put 5 of the 6 beers on the table, and I put them in various different arrangements. I put this light, my $5 Walmart LED light that I use for everything, behind it, and made a few shots from back here. I think I was at, let me see, I think for the final picture, my focal length was 220 millimeters, which that comes out to 330, I think, on full frame equivalent. So, and I measured it, I'm like 8 feet from the focal plane to the beer bottles. And you know, I took a lot of pictures trying it with the backlight. All these other lights in the room were off. The only light that was on was this LED from the back. And finally, after a lot of trial and error, I asked Heather if she would come in, and I had her hold this other LED light right here, just barely over the beer bottles and a little bit to the front. And that's the shot that I ended up using. You can barely see, you can see the glass with a reflection on the glass, just a little bit in the picture, but not much. But it's mostly about the light on the beer bottles. So I almost gave up on this photograph so many times because I just was struggling to get it to look good. And you know, I couldn't get rid of the background. The piece of glass wasn't big enough to do what I really wanted, which was a single beer with the full reflection of the beer. But I kept working on it, and it turned out that filling the frame completely with the beer bottles and not showing the entire beer bottle got rid of all the clutter in the background. And you know, it looks like these bottles are lit from the bottom, but they're not. Just that light to the left and the one that Heather was holding directly above. That's the only lights on the beer bottles, and the light shining through the beer bottles lit up the bottom of the beer bottles. So that is how this was done, and I hope you like it. There is the next still life photo for David's still life photography live stream. I don't really think his live stream is going to be all about still life photography, and you may have already seen it. It hasn't happened yet as of this recording, but some of it's going to be about still life photos, and this photo will be one of the ones that is featured. So, thanks for watching. I'm going to put all these beers back in the refrigerator before they get too hot, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Hopefully by the time you see this video, there will no longer be lockdown going on, and you can go out and take pictures of stuff besides beer bottles on a table. Have a great day. Bye-bye.